Hiya!
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of July, 2017, and this is episode 251. Yay! We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, we had some people introduce themselves in the Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay. Anne, who is A. Liness from Pennsylvania, and Peggy, who is Peggy 007 from New York.
Is she a spy?
Sure.
Welcome, we're glad to have you. So, Dammy, if somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introduction thread because you'll get a shout out on our next episode, and you'll be able to participate in all of our owls and giveaways.
And we have some going on. We have a new giveaway. Mm-hmm. Sweet. So, you might be going, Cece, Dammy, you're sitting on the wrong sides. Yes, we are. So, 1 minute health update. Purloining that from the Knitmore Girls. Purloining from the Knitmore Girls. Purloin. I took a tumble yesterday and sprained my left ankle. And just because of the way that this room is set up that we're recording in over here at Knitmore West, it was easier to be able to prop my foot up with the ice pack on it if we switch sides. So we didn't like reverse the neutron polarity of the neutron flow.
Are you sure we can record right now? Are you awake enough?
I am awake enough. I've had 1 cup of coffee and the other cup is going into me right now.
Okay.
So, well, we have several things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So we should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
So what is on your needles, Dammy?
I am still working on the Hades scarf. It's like it's never going to end.
It's the scarf that never ends.
Yes, thank you.
It goes on and on, my friends.
Can I talk about it now?
Yes.
It's on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn is Ginger's hand-dyed Sheepish DK and the Moon River colorway, and so there's the back of it.
Some people started knitting it not knowing what it was, and they'll continue knitting it forever just because it's the scarf. Gigi is listening to us record from behind us, and I think I just tickled her funny bone. I may have caused water to be spit out. Sorry, baby. What else are you working on? Because I know you cast on something else.
Yes, I am working on the sample for
our 5th Potiversary kits.
Yes, it's a sock pattern you've designed.
Yes.
And I've completed the toe and 2 rows of the pattern.
Okay. So you're on what needles?
US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters for now, but going up in needle size might be happening.
It will be
leg at least.
Yeah.
And the yarn is Owl About Yarn Sparkle Owl in an unnamed colorway yet that I can't show you.
No. So this will be, the pre-orders for this kit will be coming up in late August. I don't have a date for you yet, but it's going to have a skein of yarn from Jenny of Owl About Yarn, and it's a sparkly yarn and inspired by Dammy and I, and it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. And the sock pattern from me, it's going to have a very special bag in it. It's going to have a very special Progress Keeper marker by...
Progress Keeper marker?
Sure, I don't know what they're called, really.
Progress Keeper.
Okay, by Anne of Anne Tutors, that makes the gorgeous glass stitch markers. Oh my gosh, she's doing a very special one for us. And
glass or ceramic?
They're glass. And then there'll be at least one other thing that I'm not telling you about, but most likely at least 2 other things. We're still working out all the details. So, stay tuned for that, because it will be coming up to celebrate our 5th Potiversary with us. All right.
Soon.
It's the end of August. Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right. Are you working on anything else besides the 2 samples?
Nope.
Okay.
I need to start designing the other Hadestown stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been unmotivated.
So do I need to do things to motivate you?
I don't know.
Maybe it's like, if you knit a pattern repeat, you can sketch a picture. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. Or maybe read a chapter of the book, knit a repeat of the pattern. Unless you can knit while you're reading. I don't know. I'm just throwing options out there for you.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay. Were you just trying to distract me till I got to the end of this row?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to keep them busy while I knit to the end of the row.
Oh, so what's on your needles? I forgot we were still talking about my stuff.
We were still talking about your stuff. Have you had coffee this morning?
1 cup.
One cup.
No more.
Yeah, because I drank it all. Okay, I have a couple of things on the needles. First up is my ferret face socks for Dammy. This is from my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. It's on US 1.5 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Rusty Ferret Yarns Quadruple in the ferret face colorway. So I finished one of the socks. Now you may remember I did a pair.
Colorful.
So this is 3 socks out of the 4 that will be knit with this. I have a feeling Dammy's going to tell me to take this one because it's almost completely pink. And then I have cast on the last one, the 4th one, just yesterday. So, yeah, so I'm working on that. And the other thing I've been working on is the Indie Craft Crawl 2017 shawl, which is a pattern by my friend Kirsten Bettigan. I'm on US 5s? Yes, 5. Sorry, the computer is over there, and I normally sit on that side. 3.75 mil needles, and the yarn is Pandia's Jewels, hand-dyed, super sparkle in the pink fluffy llamacorn colorway. And I have gotten quite a lot done this week. All right, can you see the gorgeous slip stitches? Aren't those beautiful?
Yes.
I'm playing peekaboo.
That's nice.
Yes. So I am totally in love with this, and I love the yarn. And then it's going to have tassels on it. Very excited. So that is what I'm working on, but I did finish a couple things this week. So let's move on to the next segment and talk about that.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
So I have a couple this week. First up is the 6th birthday hat for my nephew Wyatt. I used the paper crown pattern by Amy Vandelar. I did this on US 2.5 3 mil needles, and the yarn is Bijou Spun by Bijou Basin Ranch Himalayan Trail, which is a 75-25 yak and merino blend in the autumn colorway. How gorgeous is that? Okay, so can you see the, I don't know if you can see the, where it makes the,
you can see it.
you can see it.
Like,
there we go.
Yeah.
So Bijou Basin was kind enough to send me this yarn to knit with, and it was a dream. And it is so squishy yummy. This hat has not been blocked yet, but working with it, it was so yummy. And I love how the definition of these stitches here, where I was doing the paper hat portion, and the color is just gorgeous. Yeah, and I still have some left. I'm debating whether to pom-pom it. Probably not. But yeah. So, if you have never knit with yak before, you should definitely give it a try, because it is some lovely, lovely stuff. And yeah. So thank you so much to Bijou Basin for sending it my way to be able to knit up. And yeah, I hope that Wyatt will love his hat. I'm sure he will. The 5 days of the year that it's cold enough in Louisiana to wear a hat, or how many ever days it is. So there is that. And then I also finished this week's preemie hat. This is number 29 for the year. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. It's on US 6's 4 mil needles, and this is abstract fiber super sock in the water lilies colorway, and I just held it doubled to knit the hat. I knit a little smaller hat this week. So let's talk about Stash Dash. These two finished projects put me at 5,204.3 meters for Stash Dash. So I've hit my 5,000 goal, like I told y'all last week. I'm trying to think what I have that's going to get finished before the end of Stash Dash. I have this second pair of socks here. I'll finish the Craft Crawl shawl
Isn't that gonna take like a whole screen?
Yeah, so it'll be around 400 meters for that. I have several more preemie hats, which typically range between like 50 to 75 meters a
I thought
piece.
they were 30.
No, not when I'm holding the yarn doubled.
Oh.
So, and you get to count yarn held doubled. I'm going to knit birthday hats for Lola and Waylon, so that'll get me some more yardage. And I am casting on a new shawl at the beginning of August, but I don't know if I'll have it done by the end of Stash Dash. And I'll also probably cast on another pair of socks. So, I still have not cast on a new stripe on the blanket. It's just too hot to have it in my lap. So, all right, well, that's everything I've finished this week. So I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. I'm laughing because, you know, we're doing the giveaway for the 250th episode.
Yes.
I think it was in that thread, or it might have been in an episode thread or whatever, but somebody was commenting on how different your feelings about Yummies has become from when we started it. Almost 5 years ago. All right, first up. Could you guys hear me screaming in excitement on Sunday? Because I am so happy. We are going to have a female doctor for Doctor Who. So the 13th Doctor is Jodie Whittaker. She is from Broadchurch, which it had slipped my mind until I was reading some about it. But the guy who did Broadchurch is the Chris, whatever his name is
Chibnall.
Yeah, is going to be taking over the reins from Moffat. So that's kind of cool because that means he already worked with her. What do you think about having a female doctor?
Yes.
Yes. Why do we think it's important that we have a female doctor?
I don't know. Why do you think it's important?
Well, I think that in a lot of TV and movies, women are portrayed as weaker or not as important, even though we have made significant strides over the years. I think it is really important to show strong women in what would essentially be a leadership role. Because for over 50 years, the Doctor has been a man. So yeah, so I'm really excited. What do you have anything else you want to say about it?
I don't know. I didn't really think of something to say about it.
Sorry, I should have briefed you that I was wanting to talk about this. I don't know. I think it's really exciting. So there was the video that they used to announce it. And as soon as they got to the part where her hand was out and they were putting the key in, I was like, I think that's a woman's hand. I think that's a woman's hand. You know, because sometimes you can tell by how, whether, you know what I'm trying to say? And I was like, oh yes, please, 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 please. Because the rumor that most people were going with is it was going to be the guy from Death in Paradise.
Which guy?
Chris.
Is it the lead?
He's
guy?
not in it yet. He didn't come into it until the third series. Whatever his name is. I haven't gotten to the third series of it yet. So, but anyway, I am super excited. Super excited. I cannot wait to see the direction they go. And
I hope it's written well.
Yeah.
And that this new series has more female writers and directors.
Yeah. I think so
Like
too.
last series, I think, had more female directors than any series before.
Oh, wow. Okay. And I'm going to be excited to see what they do with companions. Because since Bill is gone, the Doctor is without a companion again. It'll be interesting to see whether they do some one-off companions, like they did quite a bit during 10.
Yeah, the 2009. The year of specials.
Or if they will have a more long-term companion come in. It will also be interesting to see if they make the companions male or female. Because am I correct in thinking that most of the companions have been female?
Yeah, but there have been like quite a few
Yeah.
male ones. Jamie and Rory and Mickey and
Gosh, in the classic Who, which I don't know enough to say how many.
there's more, but I can't think of their names.
In New Who?
No, old Who.
Old Who, I can't.
I can only think of Jamie.
Yeah. So, we're excited. So welcome, Jodie Whittaker. You're not watching this, but just know that we're welcoming you. Like this. Okay. I got some yarn in the post this week. First up, this was sent to us by Heart of the Mitten, which is an online store and a yarn shop in Michigan. And they are now the exclusive U.S. retailer of Dale Garn. Let me see if I can open this up. Here we go. So Dale Garn.
Like,
I haven't said that part yet. So they're the newest Dale Garn yarn, which is Lurk Plus. It's a shop exclusive of...
it might be
Plus.
Ploosh.
It's a shop exclusive to Heart of the Mitten. It's a 53-47 blend of merino wool and Egyptian cotton.
That's an interesting percentage.
I know, squish it. It's perfect for year-round projects. And the lightly textured yarn blend lends itself to jackets, sweaters, cardigans, and other all-weather garments for children and adults. So they sent me 2 skeins of it in the lavender colorway, and I caked it into one skein.
It's not showing the color right.
No.
It's more...
There we go. Is that better?
Yes. We just have to hold it far away.
Yeah. I think part of it is because when you bring it up here, it's in front of the red. I think that affects it. So, this is 2 skeins, so 100 grams of the yarn. It's so squishy. And I am going to cast on a Bonbon toque by Tin Can Knits for my niece Lola for her birthday, which is coming up in September. So, I'm really excited to cast this on. I wanted to show it to y'all first before I cast it on. So, I probably will cast it on today. And let's see. It's approximately 160 meters for the 2 50-gram skeins.
Like, total or separately?
No, together. 50 grams is approximately 80 meters. So, 100 grams would be approximately 160 meters. So I am really, really excited to cast it on and talk to y'all about how it is to work with it. Yeah. So again, thank you to Heart of the Mitten for sending this our way. And I will put a link in the show notes to their shop so that if you would like to purchase some of this lovely, lovely yarn, which they have a ton of colors. It was hard to choose what color to get for this. But yeah. So thank you, Heart of the Mitten. And check them out because it's a squishy, yummy yarn and I can't wait to work with it. I also got some yarn this week from Knit Picks that I bought. So I was ordering yarn for Patreon prizes and
it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. We've got 1 skein ready to ship out tomorrow. So I should have put the name of the pattern. So the Knit More girls are co-hosting a knit along of a shawl pattern by Romy Hill. And
is it out yet or?
Yes, if you go to my queue, it's towards the bottom. So this knit along starts on August the 1st, technically. Not that one, that one. Oh, it's nice. The Harmonized Special Edition by Romy Hill. And it's a fingering weight shawl. And done on US 4 3.5 mil needles. So I have a skein of yarn in my stash from Zena of the Little Yellow Ute Crafts in the Corporate Rebel?
Yes.
Corporate Rebel. So it's pinks with some black in it. And so I needed some contrasting colors to go with that because you need 5 contrasting colors for the shawl. And so I was clicking around on Knit Picks and discovered they had this yarn sampler called the Coffee Shop Palette. Now, how could I say no to that? how could I? So I've actually caked up these yarns already because I prefer to knit with them out of the cake instead of out of the skein. So there's 10 colors.
But you're only using 5 of them in your shawl.
And then I'm going to use one of them to knit a hat for my nephew Waylon.
They're all palette.
Yes, I know. I was trying to look at the details. So this is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. It's 50 grams to 231 yards. It's fingering weight. So I don't know if I'm going to get these in the right order from darkest to light, but this is Bittersweet Heather. So it's black. And then we have Briar Heather. We have Camel Heather. We have Wheat Heather. We have Oregon Coast Heather. I think this is the one I'm going to knit for Wayland.
It's got some pink in it.
It's got some oranges and pinks in it. So I think this is the one I'm going to use to knit Wayland's hat. And then we have Almond. Not almond, like it's almond with a D. We have Coriander Heather.
Didn't you say that one?
Nope. We have Oyster Heather.
Oyster. The world is your oyster.
We have Cream. And we have White. So I'm probably going to I'm definitely using the black to pick up the black that's in the main color of yarn. But I'm going to do 5 of different colors. And then we'll see what else I use the yarn for. So I'll put a link in the show notes because last time I checked they still had this sampler available for a really good price. Yeah. Okay. Dammy, you have a yummy this week while I drink some coffee.
Yes. So the Knitmore Girls' friend Colleen gave me a gift.
Which was very sweet of her.
Yes. So she gave me this very fancy sketchbook that's made with paper from sustainable forests, and very fancy paper, and you can tear it out.
It's perforated.
Yes, that thing.
And she also gave you a pouch to put your art supplies in, and
a set of Prismacolor Premieres, 72 colors.
Turn around and show them all the colors.
It's shiny, so it might not.
Shiny.
No, not you too. So, yeah. And they're very nice colored pencils.
They're beautiful. I'm excited to see you work with them because they look lovely. In a nice metal tin. They're beautiful.
Stack. There's 3 of these.
There's 3 trays? Okay. Ooh, look at those pinks.
Okay.
Hold on, let me set my coffee down and I can give you an extra hand.
More pink.
More pink. Can you show them?
Mm.
And then there's the one in the tray still. In the tin, I mean. Fancy.
Very fancy.
So, do you know what, are you going to use this sketchbook for something special, something specific, or are you just gonna
I don't know.
Gonna just draw in it?
Gonna just draw in it.
Okay, I can't wait to see. You drew a beautiful Moana yesterday on the hashtag Dinner Doodles.
Yes.
On the, we talked about
in the
this.
only blank space on the table.
We talked about this last week, that they have craft paper that lays down flat on the table, and we doodle on it and draw on it. It was very beautiful, Moana. Yes. All right. Anything else for Yummies this week before we talk about our normal thing?
I don't think so.
All right, let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a photo related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
So July's theme is around like the 4th of July, but also just kind of normal knitting inspirations and such. So, yeah, and we will have I think we will have released the August list by next episode. I'll have to check the calendar to be sure, but the August list is coming. So what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. So those were our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in. You just look at the prompt for the day. So for example, today when we're recording, the prompt is crafty selfie. You take a photo related to that prompt. You can interpret the prompt however you want. We're very cheater friendly. You post that photo on Instagram. Make sure in the caption you put hashtag #GGKCraftyPad and your photo might get chosen. All right, well, we don't have any upcoming events at the moment, so we're going to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Dammy?
I am still reading Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I didn't get as far in it as I did last week. If I had, I would have finished it because I was over halfway.
Okay.
But, see, there are 30-something chapters. 35.
Okay.
I'm on, like, 24.
Okay.
So
you might have it finished for next week.
yes.
Okay. Very cool. Anything you want to talk about it?
No, I'm still kind of confused.
Okay. It can be confusing.
So what are you reading?
So I started reading a new nonfiction book. I am reading Big Magic: Creative Living Beyond Fear by Elizabeth Gilbert.
Gilbert.
This is the same Elizabeth Gilbert that wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh.
So I am reading that and enjoying it. I read a couple of books this week that aren't worth talking about, but I read a couple other ones that I will mention. They are both on Kindle Unlimited. The first is Landon Calling: A Wicked Witches of the Midwest short by Amanda M. Lee.
Should that not be London?
No, his name is Landon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's an FBI agent. So that one was good. And then I read the final book in the Gender Game series by Bella Forrest. It was called The Gender End. And it was really, really good. I was not sure they were going to be able to tie up all the loose ends, but they did. And her new series that's going to start, I believe, in August is in that same world, but not the same characters. So that'll be really interesting, but I enjoyed reading that. I finished watching season 5 of Arrow. Cliffhanger. I'm your father.
Oh, okay. You're gonna hurt your voice.
I know. So I finished that one, and then I started watching Death in Paradise. So I finished watching series 1, and I'm watching series 2. So this is set on a Caribbean island, which is still a British island. And so this stodgy British police detective gets sent to work on the island. And he's very proper and everything and doesn't want to be there. And so they're solving a murder mystery every episode. And I'm enjoying it. No, he enjoys solving the... He enjoys solving the cases. He enjoys the work. He just is not happy to be
around people.
Not in England. He wants to be back in England. So,
does he have a change of heart and become a good person.
Maybe. Although I got spoiled.
Oh no.
Somebody put a spoiler in like series 1 episode, I don't know, 7 or 8 in the spoiler stuff for something that happens in series 3.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm a little disappointed that I know a major thing that's going to happen.
Sorry.
Anyway, I am enjoying that. What else have we watched? We've watched some Moana, some Frozen.
I wasn't there when we watched Frozen.
I was there when we watched when we watched part of Frozen.
Which part of Frozen?
Some of the songs. I don't remember.
Which songs?
I don't remember. She just put on the songs thing. It wasn't the full movie. It was the songs thing. I'm trying to think what else we watched. There was a horrible stomach bug that infested Knitmore East.
Infected
Knitmore East. And so there was some quarantining happening, which is why I finished Arrow and a whole series of Death in Paradise. I'm trying to think if we watched anything else. I don't think so. So listening to, we had a Hamilton kind of karaoke sing-along last night because Jasmine is going to see Hamilton today. And
the matinee.
Dammy and
She's stealing me a program. I don't know if it's still technically called a Playbill because I don't
said
think
it is.
Playbill prints them.
I don't know. But we entered the lottery and did not get tickets. Which is probably a good thing since I hurt my foot. That would be very difficult to manage. But we're still bummed because we were hoping to go when there was already people going that direction. So,
and you would want to go to a matinee because the show at 8 p.m. and ends really late and then it's a long drive back.
Yeah. So we did some Hamilton. What else have we listened to?
I listened to half of Anastasia.
Oh, well, you need to put that in the show notes.
Yeah, I didn't finish the other half because I was not in the brain space to do it because someone had just twisted their ankle. So the half that I did listen to didn't really sink in. But Christy Altamare and Ramin Karimloo have very nice voices.
Yep. We listened to some Hunchback.
Yes, at my behest.
Yes. We listened to Sesame Street podcast.
Over and over. The one with Julia and then the Flying Fairy School. Over and over.
We also listened to Moana.
And Frozen. And Michael Bublé.
Michael Bublé. Bublé all the time. It's never the wrong time of year for Michael Bublé to sing a Christmas song. Did you know this?
What about Josh Groban?
Josh Groban can sing Christmas songs anytime he wants to. Harry Connick Jr., yep, they can sing Christmas whenever they want. All right, I think that's everything for what we're reading, watching, and listening to, so let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our Summertime and the Living is Easy.
Ow.
Yes. So this started the 1st of June and runs through the 31st of August. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us relates to summertime. No whips are allowed. That is the major rule. So projects have to start the 1st of June or later and finish by the 31st of August. Feel free to poly dip in other owls as long as it meets the rules. We have lots of lovely prizes that are on the screen right now. A big thank you to our sponsors for supporting the podcast. If you want to know more about the prizes, you can go to
geekygirlsknit.com,
where there are photos and links to everything, or tune in to the first podcast of the month when we talk about them in detail. You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. Geeky Girls Knit. Every project you finish and post in the FO thread counts as one entry into the giveaways. The hashtag is hashtag GGK Summertime 17. We will lock the FO thread the morning of the 1st of September and draw winners on the next podcast after that. If you are a winner, you have 30 days to claim your prize or you forfeit it. There's a chatter thread in the group where we talk about our projects and where Dammy huzzahs everybody who finishes projects.
Congratulates.
That too. Huzzah. But she's also going to give you a shout out here on the podcast. So, Dammy, go.
I need to scroll up. A1 Dawan, Aylin S, Allison Rose Boom, Angie's Hip, Army Tink 08, Artist Girl, Army Wife 2102, Celeste, Crafty Kathy K, Frymeister, Jenny Am I, Kersey S, Knit Central, Knit Live Love, Nitty Movin', Limtaz, Lil Angel SG2, El McCall, Lupin Owns Jacob, M. Dorham, Off to Explore, Shirley Knits 123, Skyly Knits, Tommy plus Hazel, the VFB, Twisting Pearls, VT Kimmy Kim, and Yarny Mom.
Great job, everybody. So keep working on those projects. You have about a little less than a month and a half to finish them and get them posted. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Yes, so what is this week's question, Dammy?
This week's question comes from Kay, who is SOE Dragon, from Maryland. Cece.
Yes.
I noticed you knit a lot of shawls.
Me?
Shawls are my favorite thing to knit, and I wear one nearly every day. I'm starting to get quite a collection going, but I'm struggling with how to store them. They fall off hangers in the closet, and I hate having to dig through drawers and bins to find the one I want. So I was wondering, how do you store your shawls? Vacuum bags, right?
Exactly. I was about to say, right now they are vacuum packed in bags that have not been opened because we didn't need anything out of those bags.
But
however, when we were in the UK, how I stored them, and I don't have a photo of this because we got rid of it because we didn't have room in our luggage to bring it. So I will have to get...
called?
It is a hanger that I got from IKEA, but I'm sure you could get them lots of places, that has circle holes, and it was
5 by 5.
So
25 holes.
25 holes, and it's a hanger that you hang in the closet, but you can like thread.
I think it was meant for scarves.
Scarves, so you could thread shawls and scarves and whatever through it, and it's a heavier thing so that it can stand the weight of all the shawls. So that is how I did it. I just and what I would do is the ones that I wear most often would get put on the top row.
Should we see if we can find a link to it on IKEA?
We can try. We'll see if they have it. But that's how I stored them. Prior to that, I just stored them folded in the top of the closet, but I didn't have many shawls at that point when I did that. When I started getting more shawls, I was looking for a solution, so I got that. So now the question is, for y'all, how do you store your shawls? Because we have a hive mind here, and somebody might have an even better solution for how to store their shawls. So in the episode thread, please let us know how you store your shawls so that they're easily accessible.
Or you could use hangers and like drape them over the hanger normally and use clothespins, but carefully.
Yeah, because you don't want it to like snag or to cause it to like do something weird to the yarn where it's clipped.
Or thread the shawl through the bar part.
I think that's what she's talking about. She was doing, and they were falling off.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was going to say maybe something that could be used for organizing neckties, but it's not. Those tend to be really close together on a thing, and so there's not room for that fabric of the shawl. So anyway, so you guys tell us, how do you store your shawls?
Ow.
Sorry, I just banged Dammy's knee. Yeah. So I hope that helps, Kay, and I'm sure we will get some other answers in the episode thread this week. So, thank you so much for your question. So, Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
All right, we have a review, so let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for a review.
So this week we are reviewing a lovely book called The Sweater with Kathleen Dames, Year 1. So here's the back cover with all 4 of the sweaters that it has in it. We were just talking about shawls. So Kathleen is a friend of mine, and she's also one half of the duo that creates the Knit Filament magazine. So Kathleen has a podcast on YouTube that
Doesn't it come through other podcasts? podcast catchers?
It might. Oh, it is on, okay, the audio only is on iTunes. If you want the video, you need to go to YouTube. So yes. So she does 13 episodes for each sweater.
A season.
A season. So there's a lot of writing here, but it tells you about the episodes. So the 0 episode is to introduce it. Episode 1 talks about starting out your plan for the pattern. Episode 2 is about the yarn. Episode 3 is about swatching and cast on. She, in her brilliantness, uses the sleeve as a swatch.
What if it's the wrong gauge? Then you have to rip out the sleeve.
Yes, but if you start knitting the sleeve and then realize it's the wrong gauge, you've only knit just a swatch's worth.
Okay.
So it makes sense. Episode 4 is about the body and choices for your sweater. Episode 5 is about shaping, and there's also a live show where you can ask questions. Episode 6 is the body, the split, and the cable. Episode 7 is the sleeve again, because you've already done one. Episode 8 is the yoke, the split, and the join. Episode 9 is the bind off and the yoke. Episode 10 is the finish. Episode 11 is the block, for blocking your sweater. And episode 12 is your final, the congratulations, you finished a sweater. So she did 4 sweaters in this first year. So season 1 was the solstice party. And this is a cropped sweater. It comes... Cardigan. 2, 3, 4. It comes in 7 sizes from 28 to 52 inch bust. It's done in a fingering weight yarn using US 6's 4mm needles. And it's worked back and forth and bottom up. You'll need to seam in your sleeves. Let's see. So there's a picture of it finished. I like that, and it's got 3/4 length sleeves, which you could also adjust. I like this one, except for I don't wear cropped. You guys know that.
Mm-hmm. You made this.
Now this next one I made. Season 2, the pearly pullover. So this one is really fun because you knit it
inside out.
Inside out, because the finished sweater is the purled side. So this also comes in 7 sizes from 28 to 52 inch. It could be knit in sport or DK weight, using a US 3 or a US 5 needle depending on your yarn. I knit this in a self-striping yarn and it was fabulous. So it's worked seamlessly in the round from the bottom up. It's got raglan decreases.
You also knit it with short sleeves.
I did knit it with short sleeves, and I lengthened it a little bit because it's got a cropped body. If I were to knit this again, what I would do is continue knitting up towards the top to make it have a smaller neck hole, because it's a fairly wide neck, and I would like to have it closer.
That's interesting, because on here it doesn't look that wide.
Well, her hair is over it, so you're not seeing that.
I see it now.
So there is the raglan decreases. So this was a lot of fun to knit, and it was a very easy pattern. So if you're looking for your first sweater pattern, that might be a good one. Season 3 was the basic cable.
As well as the premium cable.
Yes, but we'll get to that one in a minute. So this again comes in 7 sizes from 28 to 52 inch bust. It's done in worsted weight yarn with a US 6 4mm needles. Body and sleeves are worked in the round from the bottom up, and then join the pieces for the yoke. Hem and cuffs are worked flat in garter stitch with raglan shaping. Okay, can you see those, the cables?
Yeah.
Beautiful. And she has a really fabulous, like, kind of essay type thing, sidebar thing, so called, "So You're a Normal Human Being," meaning that your measurements probably aren't average. So it talks about how to make it work for you so that you have the right size. And this is the premium cable sweater.
With a cat.
With a cat. I can't remember what his name is. Her name.
It comes with the cat.
It does not come with a hat. Again, 7 sizes, 28 to 52. George, that's right. 28 to 52 inch bust. This is done in Aran weight yarn using US 6's 4mm needles. It's again worked in the round from the bottom up. And it has a pocket. How did I not notice this? How cute is that pocket?
I like the yarn.
Yes, I do too. That is beautiful. All right, and then she ends with a tips and tricks section and abbreviations and technique information.
That's the last page.
And that's the last page, and here's the back cover. So, and the nice thing is all the podcast episodes are available whenever. So if you are seeing this and you're like, I want to knit that sweater, you could go through and knit it watching the episodes, even though it didn't happen, you weren't knitting it when it originally released. So that is really cool.
I also like in the book how all the patterns are not several pages each, like they're like 4 pages each, and they're really easy to follow.
Yeah, I think the longest one are the ones with the cables, just because it has charts and such.
Still, they're short.
They are short. This has got a beautiful, beautiful layout, which, full disclosure, I helped proofread to make sure everything looked okay, because there was a wonky thing with the formatting. It was doing something weird when it converted it from the program into a PDF for printing. So again, this is the sweater with Kathleen Dames, Year 1. What do you see? What do you say?
Beautiful.
Check it out. You can also get it on Ravelry.
Ebook
or the individual patterns.
Nice.
And I'm really excited to see what she does with Year 2 of the sweater. So thank you so much to Kathleen for sending this our way, and make sure and check out the patterns, because it is a really awesome book with some really very doable patterns, especially if you're like wanting to try a sweater for the first time, or you know how to knit a sweater but want to add something like cables, or want to do a cardigan. So there's really, really good options for that. So check it out. Thanks, Kathleen. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for some giveaways.
Yes, so first up we have a winner. So Zoe Carter offered up a copy of her brand new pattern, the Beach Hut Socks, as a giveaway. So we locked the thread just before we recorded and got a random number, and Dammy, who is the winner.
Number 32, Psycho Hulakian.
Congratulations, Psycho Hulakian. If you will PM me Java Pearl on Ravelry, I will then get you connected with Zoe so that you can get your pattern. And thank you so much to Zoe for offering up a pattern for us to give away. A reminder that we have the 250th episode giveaway going on. There's going to be 3 prize winners who win coupon codes to our Ravelry store for $25, $15, and $5.50. We will announce, that is not correct, we will announce the winners in episode 252. Could you fix that for me?
I will.
Okay. But we have a new giveaway. So we have a pattern given shared with us by Amanda Raitt, who is Skyly Knits on Ravelry. The pattern is called Nala's Shawl. So Demi's going to click over to it so that I can tell you about it. So it is knit in fingering weight yarn using US 5's 3.75mm needles, and it takes about 250 to 460 yards, which is 229 to 421 meters. So this is a crescent-shaped shawlette sized for a child, teen, or petite adult. It has panels of stockinette and eyelet lace and garter stitch border, and you can adapt the size based on who you're knitting it for or how much yarn you have. Now, the really cool thing about this is some of the proceeds are going to charity. So Amanda says, autism research and acceptance are important to our family. Nala and several of her cousins have various forms of autism. In their honor, this and all future patterns created for or inspired by Miss Nala, half of the proceeds from the sale of these patterns will be donated to autism for autism research. So that is a really, really cool thing. So Amanda has given us a copy of this to give away to one of y'all. I did not come up with a question.
Oh.
Oh, I know. What yarn would you use to knit this up?
Was that the question?
No, but I just made it up.
Okay.
Or do you have a better question?
No.
Okay, that's going to be the question. So go to our Ravelry group, find the giveaway thread, click over to Amanda's pattern to read all the details, and then tell us in that thread what yarn you would use to knit it. And we will announce the winner of the shawl in episode 253. The shawl pattern, yes. In episode 253. Or if you would like to go ahead and purchase it so that some of the proceeds can go to autism research, it is for $3 US on Ravelry. All right, I think that's everything for this segment. Let's move on to the next one. All right, we've made it to the end of the show. Yay! So just a reminder that our virtual assistant Deb, who is Science Knitster on Ravelry, is hosting through the end of this month a Striations Along in the Java Pearl Designs Ravelry group.
Did you realize her username is misspelled?
Yes, I fixed it in the actual show notes, but I forgot to fix it there. So Striations is a shawl pattern that I designed, and there are some prizes and such, so go check that out in the Java Pearl Designs Ravelry group. I don't think we have any other announcements. So a huge thank you, especially in the wake of coming up and hitting 250 episodes. Thank you to everyone who supports this podcast, however it is, even if it's just watching every week, all the way through to a very special thank you to those of you who financially support the podcast. There are 3 ways you can do that. The main one is through Patreon, which is a service where you pledge a certain amount per month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on the amount you donate. I have the rewards for June ready to post out. Hopefully we're going to get to the post office tomorrow. Yeah. So if you would like to know more about this, or you would like to sign up to sponsor us, you can go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsnet.
What's another way, Dammy?
We have a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we're also Amazon.com and .co.uk affiliates. If you go to our website first and then click through to Amazon, we earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast doing something you would be doing already. And back to school stuff is about to be prime on lots of people's plates. So if you're going to buy back to school supplies on Amazon, if you'd click through our site first, that'd be great. So Dammy, where can they find out more about these things and also find us online?
geekygirlsknit.com, and there are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. And with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely, lovely rest of your week. Yeah. And I hope you're enjoying the summer and that it's not too hot where you are at. We will say goodbye, and we hope you have a lovely week, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye. It's the podcast that never ends. It goes on, my friends. Some people started recording and watching it, not knowing what it was, and they continue watching it forever just because it's the 251st episode. And hopefully we'll have another 250 or more. So people will continue watching it because they know what it is, and they'll continue watching it forever. Just because it's the Geeky Girls Knit podcast.
Are you done yet?
I can keep going. That was the hub sneezing, if you heard that. Oops. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.